Welcome to Monobiology. Today we're going to look at male hormonal control of fertility. All animal fertility is controlled by hormones, and we're specifically going to look at the human male hormonal control today. There's a couple of terms that you need to be familiar with. The first one is that male fertility is continuous, which means really two things. The hormones are continuously released throughout the body to replenish supplies of both sperm and testosterone, but also that males are continuously fertile from the time of puberty until death. And so therefore male fertility is considered to be continuous, which is a little bit different than female fertility, which is not continuous. Now, just to refresh our memories, at the onset of puberty, there are specific secondary sex characteristics, as you can see in the picture here. Make sure you make note of the secondary sex characteristics, and also make note that those particular secondary sex characteristics are controlled by testosterone. So in this lesson, we're going to learn a little bit about how the body causes the production of testosterone, and how the body shuts off the production of testosterone, because both of those things are very important for men and fertility. Alright, so there are a few terms that we're going to go through here, a few different areas that we haven't talked about before, because we're dealing now with the endocrine system, which is the hormonal system in more specifically in mammals. And I'm going to introduce you to just one area here called the anterior pituitary. Okay, this is the area that kind of becomes more active during puberty. Okay, so we have a guy just starting puberty. The anterior pituitary is going to begin to release two hormones. And those hormones are called follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, which we will abbreviate to be FSH and LH. Now, in essence, these hormones do one thing each, or together, two things. Follicle-stimulating hormone initiates the production of sperm, which is kind of important for male fertility. Can't make babies without sperm. The other hormone, luteinizing hormone, is also critical to both sperm production and to the male secondary sex characteristics, in that luteinizing hormone controls the release, the production rather, and the release of testosterone. Now, once LH reacts with the testes, testosterone is released back into the bloodstream, and it goes through the body, and eventually the anterior pituitary gets wind of this particular release of testosterone, and the process stops. So once testosterone gets back up to the anterior pituitary, the follicle-stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone stop being released. Okay, so let's go through that one more time. It's a pretty straightforward process, but I want to make sure you have good notes on it. So step 1, the anterior pituitary releases both FSH and LH. Step 2, the FSH causes the testes to produce sperm, and the luteinizing hormone causes the testes rather, to produce testosterone and release it into the bloodstream. Testosterone goes through the body, causing the secondary sex characteristics. When the anterior pituitary recognizes that testosterone is in the bloodstream, it stops the production of FSH and LH. So step 1, the release of FSH and LH. Step 2, what those two hormones do to the testes. And step 3, the release of testosterone, which, in essence, stops the production of testosterone by way of not producing these guys anymore. This process is a very good example of a negative feedback loop. In a negative feedback loop, the production of a particular product causes the stopping of the production of that particular product. Now that seems kind of strange. Why would I want to stop producing the product when that's what I set out to do in the first place? Well, in terms of our bodies, it makes a lot of sense. If instead of being a negative feedback loop, if it was a positive feedback loop, then the production of testosterone would actually cause the production of more and more and more testosterone, which would not be good. So in this case, the production of the product, once the product gets to a particular level where the body wants it to be, we don't want to make any more of it. So we stop the production of those two, which of course then stops the production of testosterone. That in a nutshell is male hormonal control of fertility. Bring your questions to class. These are the references for the pictures in this video.